Welcome back to Siege of Central New York 2019. We are about to embark upon the pairing of Brew City Bruisers All-Stars versus Providence Roller Derby's Rhode Island Riveters. I am Beautiful Banshee.
And I am the CAC.
And you two, all of you out there, are in for a treat from this terrible twosome. Just going to say it right up front.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. I hope you have your coffee in tow or energy drink or whatever it is that makes you happy. We've seen excellent performances from both teams this weekend. So Brew City Bruisers Roller Derby All-Stars are currently ranked 77 in the WFTDA. And here is your roster. Today they are in white with gold and black accents. 025 Pika Zoom, 1015 Baronessa Bash, 13 Mary Death, 22 Latina Heat, 2523 Envy Hertz, 26 Germs, 350 The Other White Meat, 357 Cali Mama, 42 Havoc, 47 AK, 5 Skittle, 56 Frau Kapow, 82 Rolly Fingers, 85 Scully Wheeler, 86 Cherry Clobber, and the Brew City Bruisers All-Stars are coached by Tilo and Danger.
And they'll be taking on Providence Rhode Island Riveters, ranked in WFTDA at number 99. They are going to be wearing the blue with red and white trim, black bottoms as well. So let's get down to that awesome roster. We got 00 Puma Thurman, 013 Monsoon, 042 Flying King, 1216 Jane Ostentatious, 1230 Princess Sparklefist, number 16 Boone's Harm, number 17 Goldie, number 1860 Oakley, number 2468 Sis Boom Bonnie, number 26 Shreddy Roosevelt, number 31 Smashley Olsen, number 321 Retro Rocket, number 350 Susie Homewrecker, number 40 Milla Lowlife with coaches Hot Sauce Alexi Lawless and Raquel Welts. Woo!
Exactly. Now, yesterday, Brew City, they lost to Antwerp. And in addition, they will play Appalachian Roller Derby at 7 p.m. today. And Providence won yesterday against Appalachian, and they'll play Antwerp at 5 today. So quite the busy schedule.
It is, but doing a doubleheader like that, Providence, they always play their best at that. Brew City as well. These two teams met last summer.
Oh, at
Brew City,
Brouhaha.
yeah, and Brew City came out on top. It'll be interesting to see this because we've had quite a roster refresher from both these teams, too.
And I was seeing some additions, some folks who have perhaps returned. So it's always a good time to see that shift. And it looks like everybody's getting ready. Flying King with the star for Providence, doing the little skating dance pre-whistle.
Yep, going to be skating against Pika Zoom. Two of the star jammers for both of these teams here. So we're going to start off fast and furious.
Stellar performances yesterday from both jammers. So caught in the pack, let's see, Pika Zoom getting drawn back by Boone's Harm and Company. A cutting the track penalty assessed to Milla Lowlife, who is the pivot for Providence.
Great defense for both these teams, and these are very fast, very nimble jammers. So to stop them like that is impressive. But Puma Thurman now going to the box as well. And that finally lets an opening. Pika Zoom going to take the first lead of this game. Flying King finally finding that opening on the inside of turn one.
Yes, 30 seconds it took for Pika Zoom to fight her way through. And a quick call off before King can get in there and accrue any points. Let's see, so Providence has the pivot standing in the penalty box. Oh no, not standing, sitting. And it appears they have, the pivot's time must have been up at Jam's end, as a pivot is on the track, and Oakley.
And both of these packs just were very quick to form up. We got Monsoon rocking the star for Providence. I believe that's Havoc over there for Brew City.
Yes, Havoc brought in late in the game yesterday as a jammer for Brew City, and really proving to demonstrate their strength. But right now, both jammers caught up in the pack as it pushes into turn one, being taken to the lines. A forearm call on Monsoon, so power jam in favor of Havoc, who just picked up lead for Brew City.
Coming out already, Providence stacking up the penalties here in the first two jams, giving that opening for Brew City to start stacking up points early in this game. Now a nice little tripod set up But coming in, we see Oakley there, but that's getting broken up. I believe that's number 26, Germs.
But Puma Thurman jumping in the front, and Providence able to recycle as the pack pushes into turn 3. And we have one member of Brew City off to the penalty box. That's number 26. And I do believe you had said Germs, but there was a delayed exit, maybe.
Germs.
I love it, Germs. And then you just go, ew.
No.
But she's good and very nice. And a direction, a gameplay call on Puma Thurman having a seat in the penalty box. Swoon back to the track, though getting swept out by number 56 on Brew City, Frau Kapow, who goes Kapow when she hits the floor.
And now Havoc getting a hold down there by Oakley and by Spocky.
Yeah, that's not a fun wall to be held back by, I know from experience.
Ooh. Yep, Havoc went down hard, and Oakley gets fired back on. This is going to be a very aggressive game.
Ooh, it's getting physical, but in a smart way. Oh, let's look at that.
It's the initial.
Yep,
Yes.
the breakthrough for
Yeah.
Havoc getting that lead.
Clearing the line pretty easily, but that was not the case when she came back around. Now, our pairing of jammers, number 95 from Brew City, 85, Scully Wheeler, who had great performance yesterday.
And then going up against Goldie, another one who had fantastic formation.
Yes.
As I talked to her earlier, she said, it's my instant go-to, which is doing that quick turn of her right hip onto the inside and scooching around. And Goldie taking that lead for Providence here, jam number 3.
Using tried and true methods for sure. And in turn 2, the pack has a little bit of chaos. And it looks like Scully Wheeler still working up against the Providence defense. The tripod getting wise to the offense coming from number 523. And it takes over 30 seconds for Scully Wheeler to exit the pack.
Yeah, it was great defense by Providence, and even just stretching that bridge as far as they can, having to let her go. But fired back now. We got 4 points finally for Providence, getting into this game 8-4. Still very early on.
Yes, heading into Jam 4. Cherry Clobber, I believe, with the star for the first time in this game for Brew City. And we're seeing the Brew City fans who are watching on Twitch TV right now on New England Roller Derby Reports Nerd Derby channel. I'm seeing the Let's Go Brew City Bruisers, beer, beer, beer. But right after that, Hey Hellroll Kitty with Go PRD, fight, fight, fight.
Beer, 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 fight, fight, fight. It sounds It sounds like a Friday night to me.
Yeah, that's how we do. And that's how they do on the track right now. Jammers fighting it out. And in the front, we've got Cherry Clobber securing the lead.
Yeah.
King in the box, but a multiplayer block call against, let's see, who do we have? That would be Rexy, Susie Homewrecker.
Interesting to see that lockdown of Flying King, 2 jams in a row for them. Usually, like
it's not typical.
They're very fast and always favor the inside, but Brucey has Flying King locked down, much like last year with Toronto, focused on Flying King. But another 4 points picked up for Brucey. But we're seeing it's never no one's really playing a gamble. It's get that forward, slam the door real quick between all these jams.
It is hit and quit sometimes is the best way to go. And you can rely on those small gains to have big results later on. Pika Zoom wearing the star for Brew City up against Monsoon of Providence. Lead has been secured by Brew City as Pika Zoom out first. Meanwhile, Monsoon zipping and zagging through the pack, pushing from turns 1 to 2, though not out quite yet. We'll see if there's any assistance available. No, empty inside line, though, allows Monsoon to get out.
Yeah, Miller Lilith coming in there, trying to chip away at that pack and give a hand. And then we saw Shreddy and Puma try to reform real quick. Pika is just, not only is it a height advantage, being very low and being able to skate low, but very fast. And very quietly, and also that quick juking that they can do. Fantastic work there. Another 4 picked up 16-4.
And for those of those watching from home, this is, Siege of Central New York 2019 is a WFTDA recognized tournament that we are broadcasting live on Twitch TV under the channel Nerd Derby. Make sure you subscribe so you know when we go live for all the other games coming up. And right now, that is Goldie wearing the star for Providence, Havoc for Brew City. Okay, so cycle back. That is Brew City's jammer getting drawn back by Oakley, who goes off to the penalty box.
Yep, that was a low block there that went on Brew City. Like I said, like you've seen these packs getting very aggressive. It's never that slow hold. It's like literally they're just chaos in between each other.
Really?
Each taking hits as much as they can. And right out, there's Havoc picking up another lead jam. And you're seeing Goldie getting locked down this time. Getting circled around, especially by number 82, Rolly Fingers.
Goldie coming around the outside, seeing what she can make it work. Meanwhile, we have Rekka and Shreddy. Oh, no, that's Sparky and Shreddy in the front of the pack. But a forearm call, I believe, was just made. Oh, an out-of-play block call. So 82 from Brew City off to the box. Princess Sparklefist, a.k.a. Sparky, to the box as well.
Wow, we're down to just 2 blockers for Providence and 1 for Brew City. This penalty situation is not good at all for either of these teams.
Exactly.
Especially for Providence. But now Goldie able to lap around.
Ooh,
There's that
on
move.
1 foot.
There's that move, pulling her right hip to the front, twisting around, getting a 4. Oakley doing a number on Havoc, knocking into the infield. Recycling back. Goldie now coming in, only has a 2-blocker wall of Brew City.
Retro Rocket returns to the track, so now Providence is able to make it work. We'll see if it improves. 4 more for Goldie and the Riveters. Meanwhile, the bench for Brew City telling Havoc to call it. Let's see, 4 points up for Havoc, so 8-4 for Providence on that jam. Still Brew City at 20, 8 points ahead of Providence's 12. We're 9 minutes in, and jam 7 right in front of us.
Yeah, that heavy penalty situation we saw in that last jam, it was almost like watching all the kingdoms fight over the Iron Throne if the penalty box was the Iron Throne.
Well, it is only appropriate given that today is a big day in the world of Game of Thrones.
Woo!
And I love it. So I know that Cac and I are not on camera, but just as worthy as Scully Wheeler snagging lead for Brew City, Cac has Game of Thrones spandex leggings on that have all of the houses represented. King through the pack. And then I also have my Mean Cat derby tank that is Game of Derbs saying I skate and I know things.
I skate and I know things.
And we need to, it has the Game of Thrones font, but we need some that say I announce and I know things as well.
Yes.
Yes.
And in that last jam, 4 points picked up by Scully for Brew City, 20-12. Still anyone's game as we're moving into Monsoon, getting up onto that jammer line, going to skate against Cherry Clobber. I want to thank our awesome producer, Bobby Narco, sitting alongside of us, getting us a lot of awesome facts and information because our eyes are hooked to this game. There's so much chaos between all these packs. None of them stay really tight together. It's pretty much both of them are broken up.
Monsoon goes around the outside in turn 1, able to secure lead status. I do believe for the first time in 5 jams. So that is a step in the right direction after that casual apex hop from Monsoon. Pack keeping it slow in the backstretch. Shreddy Roosevelt to the penalty box for Providence.
Quick response to the feed. Guns, chores suck. Keep watching Derby.
Yes. Guns, Jetta, and the rest of the Providence Roller Derby contingents got it right on Twitch. Same with the Brew City folks watching. Thank you again.
Very exciting. They just saw Monsoon pick up 6 points there. Now bringing it into a 4-point game. I think that's what we're going to be seeing is that trade-off between both these teams, keeping the score very close together. Goldie coming back up on the line, this time with Pika Zoom. Already starting to lose my voice over here, but I'm excited. We're here at day 2, Siege of Central New York. Thank you, WFTD, a recognized tournament here. And thank you, Nerd Derby, for the awesome broadcast this weekend.
You're welcome.
Yes, and the Jammers have been released. One only knows what they are capable of. It appears we have an out-of-play penalty against Milla Lowlife having a seat in the penalty box. But bigger news is Pika Zoom did exit the pack first without penalty, lead to her credit. Shreddy Roosevelt coming back to the track. Goldie pushing up against a fierce 2-wall from Brew City.
I'm watching the the lineup now of Providence in the front of the pack, trying to start the tripod. Get great offensive blocking by Brew City, but in the mix of it all, going out of bounds is Pika by Puma.
Yep, and Jane Ostentatious with that sweep, Puma with that drawback. It was a thing of beauty. A little too late in the jam, though, to support any points from the Riveters. So total of 6 takes Brew City to 28 over PRD's 18. And we'd like to, of course, thank our officials. The fantabulous crew ahead of us are on skates referees. We have Bibbidi Bobbidi Boom, Reverend Riot, Kilt Trip, Queen Victoria, Recordian, Axis of Stevel, Simon Says, and Mia Culprit. We'll introduce you to our non-skating officials shortly.
Meanwhile, that breaking out of that pack, Havoc already taking that lead. Pack mostly huddled around there around turn number 1. And a jump of the apex right around Retro Rocket. Takes it forward and slams the door now, bringing it up to 32-18. And that was impressive because if you look at the setup on this, Providence sets up their diamond, but look at it, clears that turn 1 apex. Ever so gracefully through the air, lands that 1 skate down. And now getting called up, that's going to be Monsoon rocking the star for Providence. And that's going to be Scully Wheeler for Brew City.
So pack off to a slow start, doing their best to work the line, seeing lots of lateral shifting as the pack moves between turns 1 and 2. Of course, if you are just joining us, Providence Roller Derby's Riveters in blue and Brew City in white, and Scully Wheeler from Brew City taking lead. Monsoon out maybe about a quarter lap behind.
A great offensive blocking by the pivot for Brew City. Was just waiting for the moment for a jammer to meet up with the line, the tripod set by Providence, and just slides in and disrupts it just enough for it to get through.
And a penalty called at Jam's end kick on Miller Lowlife heading back to the penalty box. I didn't catch the penalty. I saw the inside pack ref making the signal right after the whistle.
Looks like that was going to be our first scoreless jam. Quickly calling that off. Thought she got through, but Swoon was right on her tail. And now we got Cherry Clobber out there versus Goldie. Goldie taking some really hard hits in the inside of that pack.
And as far as the jammer rotation, noticing that Brew City utilizing 4 versus Providence utilizing a 3 jammer rotation, but Cherry Clobber taking lead.
Look at that! Look how thin this is now with the packs out there. Heavy penalty situation both these teams, and then again another one. They got an out of play call on Brew City. Now they're down. Oh, Miller collided in on the outside right into number 22 going to the box. It was Latina Heat.
It's going out, coming back in. Sometimes it gets a little hectic, especially because that is the referee safety lane, and we like to make sure all is well.
Yeah, it looks like a timeout call being called by Providence. Coach Hot Sauce bringing everyone in. And when we were talking about our officials earlier, we got to recognize our non-skating officials. Our crew head NSO is John Brawls. Joining John is Dodge Charger, Fatal Exception, WB Destroys, Stabby McNeedles, Ms. Hyde, Drop Dead Gorgon, Influenza, Kinky Linky, and yours truly.
Okay, so let's see. We have lots going on. I know that Nerd Derby has noted a few of their upcoming events on the Twitch stream chat, but in case you weren't aware, New England Roller Derby Report will be broadcasting Coastal Chaos in Rockport, Maine, April 26th to 28th. Also, forgive me if I butcher this pronunciation, it's La Foi du Nord, May 17th. Central Maine Roller Derby's home game, May 25th. Battle of Bunker Hill in beautiful Massachusetts, my neck of the woods, June 8th to 9th. And the MRDA North American Qualifier, August 17th to 18th, right here in Rome, New York. All I can say, yes! I'm sorry, I won't yell anymore, but that makes me so happy, Chad.
Confirmed it today.
Yeah.
That's part of Chad's retirement package is all of this
Breaking
2019.
news. But breaking
Because-
news on the track, Pikazoom gets lead. We have a direction of gameplay call made on the Brew City pivot, and Flying King not far behind Pikazoom. So we'll see what they do with this, but Pikazoom calls the jam from the floor. Legal contact penalty on PRD's pivot. That's Jane Ostentatious. A transfer this year, I believe, coming from Capital City in Iowa.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen Jane actually play, and this being my home team. It's kind of like refreshing, it's like a surprise, like a new challenger approaches. I'm very impressed so far.
And Jane hits hard. She's smart. She moves quickly. I've had the pleasure of practicing with her over the last couple of months, so she's definitely a welcome addition to Providence Roller Derby.
Swoon with that pack advantage. I'm seeing a track cut being thrown up. We'll see who that's going to go on to. And they're going to go assess that to Swoon, actually, going to the box. Stepped into the infield, and that's going to give lead jam and control over to Havoc.
And a power jam dance happening on the bench at Brew City. That was pretty amazing. Both coaches at opposite ends of the track doing the dance. I am so entertained by everything within our atmosphere right now. 4 points for Havoc. That takes Brew City to 44, to Providence's 22. But right now, the full complement of Providence blockers doing their best to ignore Brew City's pivot. Jane Ostentatious able to play smart and avoid hitting a down skater. Havoc cycled to the infield and back. And again, Jane Ostentatious all over Havoc,
Wow,
but it is
Shreddy.
Shreddy to the line. Shreddy right over the line. Let's see, doing some one-on-one work against Havoc, taking Havoc to the inside, but number 26, direction of gameplay up against, let's see, that was Germs.
Yep.
Germs doing the things.
Swoon was actually so close to about to pick up those points on the inside lane. Havoc doing the smart thing, calling off after only 3 points. Very interesting when you see how that pack reformed. When Havoc's knocked to the infield, instead of like forcing that long recycle back, Promise just quickly pulled together their diamond in the front of the pack. Just stayed together because they need to clear a path for Monsoon as well to start the initial pass.
Well, in order to keep it strong, you have to be together. Noticing it works to the detriment of most teams when everyone gets spread apart, especially when a jammer is coming around. So some smart thinking. But on the track right now, we have number 85, Scully Wheeler for Brew City jamming, up against Oakley for Providence.
Yeah, breaking up that jammer rotation. Oakley, a heavy-hitting blocker, but even more powerhouse jammer, trying to switch it up to see if Oakley can do the damage. She does. Skates on the single skate on the inside line. Will pick up 4 points for Providence and slams that door. So you change up that little bit of a strategy in their jammer rotation, paying off for Providence.
And that also was the first scoreless jam for Brew City in 4 jams. So that's huge right there for Providence.
Yeah, see if they're going to be utilizing that strategy from here on out. And Starburst is apparently whistling really loud right now. Should get the entire neighborhood to start doing beer, beer, beer chants. So we can hear it all the way here in wonderful Rome, New York, Kennedy Arena. And thank everyone here at Siege of Central New York. Awesome volunteering all weekend long. And if you want to catch any of the previous games, go to twitch.tv and check out Nerd Derby, N-E-R-D-E-R-B-Y, as I quickly try to spell in my head. It's a Nerd Derby 1D. You can rewatch all the games from yesterday, which we were doing in the hotel last night.
Someone is whistling so loud right now on the Twitch TV stream. That's what I'm seeing here.
Oh, I thought it was am whistling so loud.
Yes, I'm whistling so loud right now.
Thanks. I told Starburst she needs to get her entire neighborhood to start chanting beer, beer, beer so we can hear it all the way here in New York.
That's great.
But yeah, more great action happened all around, especially my friends over in St. Charles, Missouri, hosted by St. Chuck's Derby Chicks, are having the Skate to Thrill tournament.
All right, getting back to it, it appears that the Brew City timeout is reaching its conclusion. And we have, let's see, that's number 47, AK, out there with the star for Brew City up against Goldie of Providence. Goldie caught up.
Yeah, AK-47 firing out of that pack, coming around, now working the initial pass. Pack still locked up at turn number 1, scooching around Goldie trying to find that opening. And meanwhile, wide opening on the outside. Providence not paying attention, giving that opening. 4 points going to Brew City here, Banshee.
Yep, and Providence's defense, well, Providence went to play the offense and clear the inside line. However, Brew City sealed it right up, preventing Goldie from utilizing it, but a forearm call just made on Goldie. So now a power jam in favor of AK in Brew City. Oh, no.
Yeah, there's going to be such a low block.
Oh, a low block.
Low block on AK, so we're going to have a do-si-do. I believe Goldie's
jammer
going to
switcheroo, yes.
And they're shouting now between the benches and like trying to like get some clarification.
Loud noises.
Yeah, the loud noises. Sometimes you can hear those. You cannot hear those calls correctly, but AK being returned back to the bench. 4 points picked up. Very interesting. Kind of wondering how this is going to play out with Providence now. Oh, knocked to the infield. That was great work there by Retro Rocket. And it looks like, I believe that's Rexy pulling that draw back to turn number 3. Creating that wall. Shreddy's been getting some good hits in this weekend.
Yes. Some epic work from Shreddy and co in the pack. Right now, Sis Boombani going in to play the offense. Goldie still getting caught up in the tripod, but Sis going in and attacking the links. Let's see if it works. And that strategy just pan out with Goldie's quick hip turn on the left foot. Okay, coming up to the pack, that is AK, checking for the perfect positioning. 4 points for Brew City, none for Providence. So a 12-point jam unanswered. 59 for Brew City Bruisers, 26 for the Rhode Island Riveters. And we have less than 9 minutes remaining in the period. It's been going that quickly, Cac.
Yeah, it's been just flying by. Speaking of flying, you got Flying King rocking the star for Providence, being joined skate to skate against Cherry Clobber. Flying King had a great showing against Appalachian yesterday, but Brew City has got them like pretty cornered. But as I say that, the announcer's curse in a positive form, Derby's curse. Flying King getting lead, but not too far back behind him is Cherry.
And Flying King known for their grace on wheels and also on blades. You know, the figure skating background is a big help. And let's see if they picked up any points.
Coming around the outside.
1.
Yep,
just one.
Around.
Just 1 point.
Just 1 point on that. Let's rewatch this replay here. See how many hips are passed on that one. It may look like, to me, it looked like a couple, more, like at least a couple. But you know, the officials probably have a better view than I do on camera. Plus, I'm like looking through rose-tinted glasses right now, so don't judge me.
And on the track, Monsoon wearing the star for Providence. Pika Zoom back at it for Brew City. And a forearm call on the blocker that took out Monsoon. Lead going to Pika Zoom. And Swoon pushing it out has broken the pack. We have a back block call on Sparky from Providence. Swoon able to get into the pack, though no points for either jammer. So I do believe second scoreless jam thus far.
Yep, gonna replay that one again. Yep, coming through, step through around. Yeah, it wasn't in time. It was a great pass, but the whistle had already been called. But Monsoon incredibly quick out there skates. And I've been talking about incredibly quick out there. Goldie back out there again, this time against Havoc. Goldie having a great first jam up, but getting cornered down. They got AK-47 holding the block alongside number 22, Latina Heat.
Jane Ostentatious opening things up a bit for Goldie. That does help pave the way, though Kali Mama in the pack. Oh, breaks through the pack, picks up 4 points. And I'm sorry, that was Havoc. I read the scoreboard by mistake.
It's okay. I don't know how to read at all, so you're ahead of me on this.
Well, nobody's perfect. We all have things to work on. But 63 points, Brew City, 27 Providence.
And very quickly, flanking almost missed the 5 seconds, going up to have a little chat with Oakley, who's all by herself out there blocking, but even just by herself, able to recycle back. Rolly fingers.
Scully.
And wow, with one blocker for Providence, Flying King out there taking a lead jam for this one.
The powerhouse of Oakley, who was joined on the track by Sparky. So now we've got 2 blockers. Oh, and then Oakley is off by herself to the penalty box. And Sparky working to break up the wall for Flying King. King calls it, picking up 2 points and prevents any points for Brew City.
Every point counts in a game like this where anything can happen, flip, especially when you have a lot of blockers hanging out in the penalty box. It creates those crazy openings, but very impressive again by Oakley doing a one-skater job out there. But now lining up is going to be Monsoon back up there with Cherry Clobber. Monsoon taking it easy, trying to feel out Brew City's blockers right on the outside of the pack. And again, trying to find that opening, find that opening is Cherry Clobber on the inside of the pack with a quick rotation around by Jane Ostentatious to try to come around and get her. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but now they got the lockdown. Great blocking, I believe that's Sis Boom Bonnie.
With the drawback right to the line.
Beautiful. But Monsoon, given the good fight around Brew City, very quick to form around. They don't need a tripod. It's their 2-blocker wall that does a great job. Now she's getting the drawback on herself in the straightaway.
Okay, Cherry Clobber does pick up 4. Meanwhile, we have Jane Ostentatious taking the star for Providence.
And, a forearm on Monsoon. Going back to the box. Jane Ostentatious, first time rocking that star. Hoping to force off the call, maybe pick up some points. And points will be picked up by Providence on that star pass.
Okay, so productive star pass for them. So taking 4 to Brew City's 8. Brew City currently at 71. Over Providence's 33. Just 3.5 minutes remain in the period. And we're getting a lot of good feedback on the broadcast. Thank you, Jetta Von Diesel and Varla Guns from Providence. Watching on the big screen.
Yeah, and I know Jetta's going to be gearing up for Game of Thrones later tonight.
Yes.
And back out there, we got Pika Zoom versus Goldie. Goldie up to the front, able to take lead jam. Pika Zoom, recycle back by Miller Lowlife. And now getting crunched up in the front of the pack. I believe that's Smashley Olsen up there with Puma.
And pack slowing down just a little bit.
Hot Sauce giving the go-ahead to Goldie just to keep it rolling, hoping they can hold down Pika Zoom, who's already worked their initial pass. Finds that opening again. Now Goldie will have to try to reclaim those 4 points back. Looking to get through, getting a nice little bump there by Skittle.
Goldie making the call. And I do believe no points for Brew City on that pass, and 3 picked up by Providence. So a total of 7 on the jam, taking them to 40 to Brew City 75.
Very interesting to see how, just very interesting seeing how I want to see it during halftime, the penalty tracker, see how this has been playing out against both of these teams here. We've seen a lot of one blocker walls out there.
And we'll have to take a look at those penalty counts. But 0-4-2 Flying King picking up lead for the Rhode Island Riveters up against 42 Havoc of Brew City. I always get a kick out of that with similar numbers. I don't know, that's just a thing I notice.
42. Oh, I
42.
chuckled earlier. Oh, great toe work there by Flying Dragon.
Through the pack.
Just tippy
Flying Dragon.
The Flying Dragon flew. Dragons are everywhere, Jetta, and one just flew and scored 4 points for Providence. Oh my goodness. Let's just see if we can catch the replay on that one. Here comes Flying Dragon. Trying to favor, goes right to the inside. Tip, 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 stays in and just slams that door shut.
And that's one thing we've come to expect, yet continue to be amazed by Flying King and their beautiful footwork.
And now going up for her first official jam here, Jane Ostentatious.
And the last two jams were actually the first back-to-back lead jams for Providence. And we're seeing how that obviously is bolstering their ability to put up points. And Scully Wheeler will be the opposition for Jane Ostentatious.
Now, personally, because you also play with Providence as well,
Yes.
you got to interact with Jane. Can you tell me a little bit more about how her style is?
Oof. Here's the thing. I'm honestly not being partial. It's just sometimes you skate with folks and you just know that even though they're basically beating on you, they're pushing you to be better. Jane is that kind of skater. And I'm lucky to be able to practice with Providence. So I'm waiting anxiously to find out which home team I am being put on this year after transferring in last year. But Jane coming in 2019 with Providence, it's a great addition. And I think pretty solid as a utility player, can be put in practically any position.
I'm glad you take those hits for me because I'm fragile. I get bruises watching you guys hit each other. But Miller Lowlife doing best to try to hold Scully back. Has to finally let her go. Puma now reporting to the box. They're going to lose a blocker for Providence. And finally, Jane almost got that opening, but real quick, Mary Death from Brew City come in to give a little bit of a hold up.
And we're seeing that Jane had to muscle out of the pack just a little bit to break through the defense from Brew City. Unfortunately, jam is called before any points go up. And the official review before this jam was just used as a timeout.
75-44, and that clock is winding down. We might still have our first jam in.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're oh no, now on the chat feed we're having our home teams of Providence fighting each other.
It's because I brought up anxiously awaiting which home team I'm waiting to be teamed to. And so of course we see OMH, those in the chat, if you're not aware, that means Old Money Honeys, Rats, that's the Connaught River Roller Rats, and then of course the Mob Squad. So, you know, everybody representing from Providence. You guys are awesome. As is the Brew City fan base. You've been fantastic. I am so flattered. You're going to make Wax. You guys are all making me blush. I love you all. This is why we have a good time at Providence. And, you know, roller derby should be fun. And I know Brew City has a dang good time, too. So it's intermission. So we're going to get the deets for you, especially on those penalties, because I know that we have a lot to talk about with that. And we'll be back in about 14 minutes.
Wow.
I know. So Keck and I will see you soon. Well, hello. We are back at Siege of Central New York 2019, a WFTDA recognized tournament. Live from Rome, New York, I'm Beautiful Banshee.
And I'm the cat. Wow.
And we are back here and have a few things to review from halftime. We're looking at point scoring as far as the teams, and looking at Brew City. Their high scorer right now at 23 points is Havoc. And right behind Havoc with 22 points is Pikazoom. So those are the most successful jammers thus far for Brew City. But for Providence, telling the story, Goldie picking up 23 out of the 44 points is leaps and bounds ahead of her fellow jammers at the moment. As the next highest scorer was Monsoon with 10 points. And then Flying King right behind, they have 7, and Oakley picking up 4. So it's really neat to see. At least that's how it explains how things played out in period 1. And of course, penalties are a whole other story. What do we have?
Well, let me tell you this. When it comes down to, let me tell you something, brother, as we're going into this jam here real quick. What we saw earlier is we saw at certain points down to a single blocker for both teams out there because it's a rotating door. Brew City with about 17 overall, pretty spread out. Baroness of Bash with 3, Latina Heat with 3, but not as many as Providence. Providence with 27.
And just picking up penalty number 28 as a multiplayer block assist to Miller Lowlife.
Yeah, Miller, that puts Miller actually at 5 penalties overall and stuff because her and Puma are 2 of their best blockers. Puma with 5 as well. They got to be very careful now for the rest of it. But the thing is, that's kind of hard psychologically. That's in the back of your brain. You want to play your best, but when it's a very aggressive game with both these teams. Very little that you see of that slow blocking, that slow rolling with like the hard tripods. It's been everyone taking turns, hit as hard as you can. But you got to be careful where those arms land and where your direction of gameplay, which is something we've seen very often here, Banshee.
Yes, and the first jam yielded 3 points for Peekazim of Brew City, taking them to 78-44. But right now, Monsoon wearing the star for Providence up against Havoc. Lead going to Rhode Island Riveters, courtesy of Monsoon, not far behind Havoc. And Pack anxiously awaiting them in turn 1. Monsoon goes out at the turn 1 apex, calls it off. No points for Brew City. Let's see. Oh, and 0 for Providence.
Scoreless jam. Is this number 2 or 3?
This is, I believe, number 4 of the entire
4.
game.
Oh, my goodness.
There were 3 scoreless jams in period 1.
And thank you, Splice, for showing up.
Yeah, hey, Cinnamon Splice, a member of the Rhode Island Riveters Charter, not able to make the trip, but showing support, watching on Twitch TV/Nerd
She's definitely wifey material, if I may say so.
Aww, she's wonderful.
Out there you got Goldie now rocking the star for Providence. Scully Wheeler for Brew City. And that Scully looks like found that opening on the outside there of turn number 1. And on the inside is Goldie working the initial pass. Pack now lining up on turn 1. Providence in the rear, waiting in, and Jane Ostentatious try to give a little bump, staying on the inside, and quickly calling that off as Scully. That's going to be a 4-0 jam.
And proving the give an inch, take a mile statement that really happened there with Brew City's jammer.
And a quick answer on the feed there. Brew City's ranked 77 as of April 5th, and Providence still at 99, going up 1 spot from previous.
Okay, setting things up. Cherry Clobber back on the jammer line, facing off against Flying King. Flying King being taken to the lines, though working around, going in front of Cherry Clobber around the outside, able to evade the pack first. Only took 13 seconds, a lead for Flying King and the Rhode Island Riveters. In turn 2, the pack still working on Cherry Clobber, who has stashed the star at present. Quick little apex jump, though, for Flying King, getting drawn back by Brew City defense. And Oakley taking Clobber to the lines, getting caught up on Shreddy.
King through, picks up a 4 for Providence.
Pack picking up a little bit of speed as Riveters aiming to reabsorb Cherry Clobber at the front. Sis Boombani, part of the twosome right now that was working on Clobber, though finally out on her initial. It took over a minute as 59 seconds on that clock. Multiplayer block call made. I'm not sure on who, but we will find out as soon as they leave the track.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on great blockers like Latina Heat and Germs have been fantastic duo out there, alongside with number 350, the other white meat. Flying King coming through, picking up 4 back after another 4 picked up by Cherry Clobber.
And Sis Boombani with that assist clearing the inside line for King. 4 points up for Providence.
4 on Oakley to the box now, leaving it down to Rexy and Sis out there. Again, great defense work. AK out there now tag teaming with Germs.
High block assist to Cherry Clobber, so this will put a power jam for the Riveters. And Flying King also Shreddy back to the track. King getting cycled back, looking at Hot Sauce. Just with a quick shrug, they're going, okay.
So I was like, get out there and go for it.
Well, because there were a total of maybe 3 seconds left
Yeah.
on the jam clock, so that was King's shrug, I'm pretty sure.
Should we just call it and have that power start now? Well, here we are with Monsoon's going to be rocking that power start. Shreddy, though, has an unbelievable blocking game this
Yes.
year. It's incredibly impressive. She's done well last season. This year, it's like up the ante. And like I said, I've always been afraid of her. She smiles, and she's
Oh, yes.
terrifying.
I love it. Oh. Highest jam of the game for Providence. 11 points picked up from Flying King on that last one. And let's see here. Pack keeping it pretty close in turn 2. Boonsharm to the penalty box.
Swoon trying to find that little bit of opening now. Here comes the blockers of Providence. Oakley coming to the very forefront, trying to hold down, look like Mary Death. Give that little opening. Finally, lead jam now, control Monsoon. But Brew City, fantastic running down that penalty clock for Cherry Clobber to get back into the game. Still has to work the initial pass. Oakley holding as far as she can. Miller was bridging that pack a little bit, but out of play, I believe it was. No, illegal contact. Sending Oakley back to the box. That is going to be penalty number 5.
Swoon forced out and drawn back by number 13, Mary Death. And now Cherry Clobber in scoring position, drawn out and back by Milla Lowlife. And yes, we see the fun and the fact that Milla Lowlife is playing against Brew City. Yes, we do. We're well aware. Because I like to say, Milla Lowlife, Champagne of blockers.
Took that from me. Yeah, took it from me.
Well, I mean Champagne of skaters, but still, because she can block, she can jam, but particularly efficient blocker. 4 points up on the last pass for Monsoon and Rhode Island Riveters. So a 4-4 jam. Oof.
There it is. Like Puma and Oakley is a hurt you don't want to be in between with Milla.
Yeah, that's a wall
Just
when you hit it.
Watch the close in here.
And drop.
Not even a White Walker can get through that wall. And that's another one.
I know. 93-59 in favor of Brew City right now. Pika Zoom versus Jane Ostentatious off the jammer line if you're coming into the game late. Of course, Providence, the Rhode Island Riveters in blue up against Brew City in white. And both jammers, zigging and zagging, being taken to the lines. Drawback from Smashley Olsen and company, holding back Pika Zoom behind the pivot line. Meanwhile, Jane Ostentatious pushing it out into turn 2.
Oh,
dropped
Whoa.
with an illegal contact penalty. Jane back up, shakes it off, smiling.
I think she feeds off of that.
Perhaps.
I like this Jane. She's okay in my book.
Well, I mean, living up to the fact of being truly, truly, truly ostentatious. And, yeah, I threw a little gem in there, too. But 4 points up, ostentatious calls it off, so 4 points for Jane.
Oh, let's watch this and cringe.
Mary Death.
Great blocking. Oh, my God.
I mean,
it was illegal contact,
right,
but just that connect.
Mary Death's connection on that and just the oof. Oh, my goodness.
Like, my legs are shaking from that one because, ooh.
I just am thinking about the part of my chest where that would have hit and just the afterward, but I digress. Havoc is back to the track up against Goldie of the Rhode Island Riveters.
And again, we talk about that blocking situation, how light both those packs are out there, and that's going to give Havoc the opportunity. She capitalizes every single time on that for Providence. Now it's starting to fill up back out there. I see Flying King out there. I believe that's Goldie. And jumps the apex. It goes out and having to recycle, going out of bounds. Recycling long behind Goldie. Looks like a forearm call.
And taking a seat, that is number 42. Yeah, Havoc, sorry. No, I looked at the wrong number then. Sorry, no. Havoc is not, because they're getting points right now.
Yep, points for points on
and
both these
Goldie,
jammers.
too. Yes. Havoc through one more time, adding 4.
Providence back in disarray. Needing to reform quick. And now taking shots.
Havoc taking advantage of an open inside line, 4 points up. Meanwhile, Flying King back to the track. They're able to jump in and start pitching in on some offense. Goldie still working on that wall, and Smashley Olsen with a huge hit, driving Havoc out to the front stretch outside line, but back in, taken back out by 3-2-1. And that is none other than, why am I blanking on this, Retro Rocket.
Just looking at the look on Smashley's face, going down as well with Havoc.
Yeah.
But trying to hold that line together.
And we've got a Havoc fan out there, Honeybee, on Twitch chat, shouting out Havoc. And of course, people saying, nice smash for Smashley Olsen's hit. 4 more points for Havoc. Let's see how the totals add up. And perhaps a quick replay on the hits.
Wow, look at that.
Textbook right there. 16-8 on the last jam for Brew City. And that's 109-71 right now. And we're
Smashley pulling out that
10 minutes in.
Going from Bruce Banner to Olsen. Smash.
Right? Highest scoring jam of the game just occurred. 16 points there for Brew City.
As we have this time out with Providence. Again, if you want to watch all the awesome action, definitely subscribe on twitch.tv here at Nerd Derby. You can actually see previous games from yesterday already up within the day. It was thank you, Chad. Like, we're already watching it in the hotel last night. And it's great watching skaters immediately watch their game and start critiquing the heck out of themselves, having that inner turmoil. But no, everyone doing a fantastic job here. Brew City, a great blocking game, able to hold their pack a little bit tighter together now in the second half.
Indeed they have. And setting up right now, that's AK back at it, number 47, wearing the star for Brew City against Flying King 042 for Rhode Island Riveters. And AK going to put the press on King, though King sidesteps it a bit. They're able to jump right into the back of the tripod and
powers through.
Full attack on the links, giving the offense a Retro Rocket all about it. And let's see, there was a low block call assessed.
And wait, I'm seeing a power jam cutting the track. Yeah, because AK was getting knocked around by Providence's blockers and ended up cutting that track. Power jam, and for any other jammer out there, Flying King taking advantage of that is going to be a tremendous opportunity for Providence. But again, here's where Providence needs to go for an offensive blocking as they are right now. Quick and nimble picking up those 4 points.
And a tentative pack in the backstretch, waiting for Flying King's arrival. And just now, AK standing in the penalty box. So we'll see how Flying King and the Riveters manage the clock. Oh, looks like they are going to let it ride and go for more points.
Yep.
It's an excellent opportunity to really bridge that score gap. Running through on the outside, 4 points more for Flying King.
Hot sauce given.
Yes.
Hot sauce given to Sue. Keep it going. Look for it. She's asking, get another 4. AK working on that initial pass. Flying King coming around down the outside. Skeet down the single skate. Gets through. Gets that 4. And made Coach Hot Sauce a happy coach.
Yes. And when Coach Hot Sauce is happy, everybody's happy. And then also Coach Rekka, who's in the corner. I can see Rekka third base coaching over there, and very happy as well. So a total of 20 points. That takes the place of the prior jam, 16 points for Brew City, as the highest scoring jam in this game. So, wow. And we're almost through the third quarter of the game, and juking back and forth 0-1-3. That would be Monsoon in the back of the pack fighting Brew City. And, of course, Scully Wheeler in the front up against the PRD defense.
Look at that stance that Puma had, and Boone's being an assist there, keeping Puma upright. That held Scully at bay, giving Monsoon that opportunity for that opening.
And we're seeing a bit more penalty activity. Miller Lowlife to the penalty box. I believe I saw that was a forearm call. Going to find out where that leaves things because points accrued, though we know that there were some higher penalty counts for a few of the Rhode Island Riveters' crucial blocking
Yep, we're getting an
blockers.
official timeout real quick. It was about 3 points picked up by Providence, 4 by Brew City. Still anyone's game. We still have another quarter of this game to go, plus change on that, Banshee. A lot of great action you've seen here. There's a lot of more great action. Banshee, tell me some cool tournaments coming up.
Well, there are plenty of cool tournaments, but like the coolest of cool, at least at the level where we are here at Siege of CNY this weekend. Of course, the WFTDA recognized tournaments. They recognize and support high-quality WFTDA member-hosted tournaments worldwide. And aside from some of the others we've mentioned, I believe we should talk about La Classique, Georgia W. Tush, June 14th to 16th in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, hosted by Montreal Roller Derby. That's an extremely fun event, as I've been told, and one of these days I'll have to get there. Also, Hometown Throwdown, June 21st to 23rd in Portland, Oregon. That's hosted by Rose City, Rose City Rollers to be specific. And the East Coast Derby Extravaganza, June 21st to 23rd in Feasterville, Trevose, Pennsylvania, hosted by Philly Roller Derby. And I do believe our producer, Bobby Narco, will be there. So you should be there too. So definitely go check that out. And besides, ACDX is always like Derby Summer Camp.
Heck yeah.
It's great.
I'm sad missing it because I'd be there with Bobby and Amy, Joe, and Gretchen. You know?
I know.
It's like missing
all of our people.
It's like your family goes on vacation and left you behind.
I hear that.
I'm like Kevin in Home Alone over here.
Well, you know, the kids are going to have to cause their own trouble at Battle Bunker Hill. But, you know, while the parents are away, kids will play. I don't know. But I know you guys will have plenty of fun at ACDX, and so will everyone else. But
we should,
okay.
We're coming back from another timeout that was called
Team
by
time,
Brew City. So now Brew City with 1 timeout, official review remaining. Providence 1 timeout, official review remaining. 113-94. That is going to bring up the one and only Pete Kazoom of Brew City, flying king of Providence, who started off this game together.
And kudos to, I believe it's Jetta for the creativity on, can we get practice credits for hosting a watch party? Nice try. I love that Minnie responded with laughter, as did Guns, and how someone said it should totally be a thing. Nice try. I think Coach Hot Sauce would say no.
But it's studying. You're studying, you know.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some merit to it, but and merit to Kings pass through the pack. We'll see how many points are yielded. A full 4 for Flying King and 1 for Brew City.
Wow.
So Brew City at 114. Providence Roller Derby's Riveters at 98. Yes, and the way the leads leads acquired tell the tale. We have a total of 7 in the second period for lead jammer status for Providence, and only 3 for Brew City. So definitely seeing the shift in control on these jams.
Goldie coming in, playing a little bit of defense, trying to knock a little Havoc out, but Havoc able to sneak around. Now Goldie trapped behind the beautiful tripod set by Brew City. What I love is how smooth that they move back and forth, but as soon as they get you, it's almost like pinchers of a crab's claw. It just squeezes in on you.
I was going to say, and you get the wrong seafood for both places, but you tried. I know.
See, that's why I went to crabs and not lobsters.
I know. But still, between fight, beer, and pinch. I mean, that's a whole lot of fun for cheers. Just saying. But back to the track. Let's see what we have going on in the front. Providence's defense working to contain Havoc. And Guns pitched in the chat and said Sauce would get a laugh and then say no. That's right. We know Coach Sauce would say no. Forearm call on the pivot.
And a cut track is going to go on Havoc. We have a power jam for Providence.
Yes, power jam with the Brew City pivot in the box as well. So now would be the time for Goldie and her blockers to really take advantage, but a cutting the track penalty assessed to Goldie. Not quite inbounds and in play on the turn for Apex. Havoc released immediately, and tentative pack in turn 4.
Providence have, but Oakley going down, tripping up on her skates, and that's going to leave an opening on the inside.
And Rexy working to contain Havoc one-on-one, does end up getting a direction to gameplay penalty.
They switched up real quick. Ready, trying to put the lock down. Pivot also for Brew City, now reporting to the box. Coming into turn number 1 once again. Havoc looking for some more action from Providence. That's going to wrap up that jam. 2 additional points picked up. And look at the move here. Goldie trying to find that opening inside, and then takes a little bit of a hit.
That little touch
Yeah.
on the wrong side of the line is what did it.
Track awareness, it was so quick. So quick, but
that was some laser focus from the referees on the inside. So Monsoon facing off against Scully Wheeler. Jammers have been released, both working their plan of attack and seeing Monsoon take the inside line, lead to her credit. Scully Wheeler follows.
Pack now pulling up into turn number 2 with only a 2-wall blocker there. Swoon swoops through, trying to pick up those points and close it off, and will only, it's going to be a scoreless jam.
And a high block assessed to Germs on Brew City. So a 4-3 pack advantage starting jam 13.
Oh my, 12 minutes, 23 seconds. Still a very close game, 116-98.
Yep.
But again, it's coming down to that penalty situation.
18 points apart. It really is. It's a matter of managing clean skating. And we have Flying King and Pikazoom, but Pikazoom picking up a forearm call, allowing the power jam for Flying King lead open. Multiplayer block against one Brew City blocker.
And we saw last time, 20-point jam by Flying King. Are we going to see something very similar to that? Because don't count Pikazoom out, because when Pika gets back to that track, Pika will be on fire. Flying King already with 4. Now coming around that pack again, still hold up on turn number 2. Brew City's up in the front, being anchored by number 5, Skittle, who is the captain.
Pikazoom released from the box. So penalty kill was successful for Brew City, at least on this turn.
Boone's hitting Pika. I believe that is a high block, on Boone's arm. Flying King getting recycled back. Now Pika, like I said, already on the initial pass. Flying King doing the smart thing, just going to call it for what it is. Great defensive work, like I said, that tripod that quickly rotated around, forcing Flying King to recycle back, picks up 2 more points for Providence. They are now over that century mark. And look, it's just coming closer, down 12 points.
This is not stressful, not at all, not for either team, no. Yeah, and this is the first time that Brew City has been held scoreless back-to-back. Thank you, Bobby Narco. And earlier, he made the point to tell me when I was talking about how Providence had at least 7 lead jam statuses in the second period. That was their total for period 1. So if there's any indication, it's really been a testament to them stepping up their game. So Havoc with lead for Brew City.
Coming inside. Here's the block that we're looking for. It's like the tripod setup by both these teams. Now, time has been wasted down for Goldie as Havoc's already in, but Providence already locked in. Now that offensive blocking coming in for Brew City. Gave Havoc a little bit of trouble, but able to still pick up those 4 points beforehand. Me too, Guns. Me too on that one. We're going to need another beer. I'm going to go to Brew City. They have the best recommendations. But now coming up on that jammer line, Monsoon rocking the star for Providence, and Scully Wheeler for Brew City.
All right, so we're seeing the pack set up in front, so allowing jammer space. Now we're seeing Monsoon and Scully Wheeler engage a little jammer aggression off the line. And right now, lots of lateral movement as Scully Wheeler pushing out in the front, PRD's blockers, and Smashley Olsen taken down in the turn 1 apex. But let's see.
Oh!
We have a force out, though. Oh, it does allow for lead from Monsoon.
Wow, I didn't even see Monsoon slip by. I thought I heard when I heard the whistle. No, that was actually going to go to Scully.
There was the resounding thud from one of PRD's blockers. That was Oakley hitting the floor while taking out the opposing jammer. 1 point for Brew City. None?
No. We have our jam ref there talking to the outer pack refs.
Oh.
Make sure they get a good view. Because
Yeah.
Monsoon swept around the outside of turn 3. And it's going to go 1-for-1 shot on that one. So 1 point apiece on that. 121, 105. That's going to call Pika Zoom and Flying King yet again. These two paired up very well.
Oh, pivot going from Brew City to the box on a multiplayer block. And we're seeing a lot of the stomping it out in the pack. And Pika Zoom does so, gets through first. Flying King about a quarter lap behind.
Here comes the chase. I see illegal contact on blocker 4, Brew City. Pack now picking up speed, making the chase happen. Pika trying to pass Rexy and get some points on that. We're going to see. Yes, was able to get her hips past Rexy just a little bit, getting that 1 point.
So 122 to 105. Providence has been held scoreless just on that last jam, as there was just the one before.
Thank you again, our awesome producer, Bobby Narco, feeding us all this information. He is a plethora of said information.
Yes. And we're seeing a few other folks chiming in on the Twitch TV chat as Havoc from Brew City lines up against Goldie from Providence. It is Goldie round the outside, out first. We have the full court press coming from Retro Rocket, Sparky, and Oakley driving back Havoc. And we had someone from South Carolina watching. Mini Meat, don't throw up. I know it's rather jarring. There's just so stressful.
I'll vomit for you.
And then I saw waves from Boston from Arielke. So hey, thanks for watching.
Goldie through with 4 points.
And that brings Providence up to 109 to Brew City's 122.
Wow,
so within 13 points.
Here comes that defense that Providence so desperately need. Shreddy teamed up with Retro Oakley in there as well in the mix. Hold on. Sparky coming up to the forefront. Quick rotation around with those blockers from Providence. All coming together. Great defense. Again, they're trying to hold the door on Havoc.
And we're seeing Oakley take down Havoc, who drops the star. And there was a pass to someone who is not a pivot. That was interesting.
Technical strategy. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, bold strategy.
Oh, my goodness. Goldie coming around again for another scoring pass. Havoc keeping an eye back, may go into a defensive mode, but Retro makes contact first with Havoc, shake things up a bit.
And definitely working to create that awkward blocker sandwich on the jammer. Providence does eventually have to release Havoc, though at 15 seconds remaining, there was a cutting the track penalty on Goldie.
Yeah, she stepped out of bounds just around that, tried to tippy-toe it and lost that little bit of balance.
Luckily, not a whole lot of time left on the jam clock, so we'll see if any points are accrued. 4 points up for number 5. That would be Skittle, who ended up taking the star pass. So 11 to 4 in favor of Providence. There is a team timeout for Providence. And 116 to 126. Brew City still on top by 10 points. Wow.
They're going to have this power start. And, I'm just like, both these teams are driving me crazy.
So, Sparky's sister.
We were trying to figure out who Harley Quinn was. I was like, which team Harley Quinn are?
Snowy Wisconsin, beer, beer, beer. Waves from Belgium. Hello, Piggy Stardust. I know, we're getting a great bunch of viewers joining us on this virtual watch party.
Yeah, I can't wait for actually that Antwerp game coming up against Providence.
So
that's going to be at 5 o'clock. And also here we got Brew City's going to be playing Appalachian at 7 o'clock. But right
Yes.
after this game at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Green Mountain versus Jersey Shore.
Ooh, that's going to be fun.
Rocking that start is going to be Frau Kapau, but a timeout also called by Brew City. Both of teams have now used all their timeouts. They're only remaining down to their official reviews.
Well, with 5 minutes to go, that's, of course, the good thing to keep, I would guess.
I can just imagine the stress and intensity, both with the Brew City fans and with PRD. We're seeing like quite a bit in the chat of the stress, and even like I said, it means I want to throw up from this. But these are the games we as announcers love to call when it's very close, very nail-biting.
Yeah, we're seeing lots of that. And so the power start will be for Frau Kapau once we get things underway again.
Ooh.
And this is Frau Kapau's first jam within the second period.
We just saw our house announcer, Jimmy, a very, very sexy stud, if I may say so, rocking the plaid. And
Well, I have to say, Jim Grimm there, he has excellent hair today. He has a great deal of product in his hair, creating the spikes. I like it.
I was trying to figure out which band he was from when he first walked in.
Yeah. There you go, musicians. We recognize our own kind. But yes, jam is on the power start for Frau Kapau. But Kapau indeed, Milla Lowlife has something to say about that.
And great Skittle coming back and keeping Milla from recycling any further back. It's been, cutting
the track.
Cutting the track we're seeing, yes. So we're going to have a do-si-do. Goldie coming back out. Power jam for Providence.
And eligible for lead, so we'll see if she's able to pick that up and establish an additional element of control.
Oh my God. These skaters are killing me here, Banshee. They're killing me. Oh my goodness. We're coming around turn number 2. Goldie trying to bow her way through, and
Frau Kapau is back. Both jammers in the pack. So successful penalty kill as far as Brew City was concerned, though waiting to see. Providence's defense able to recycle Milla Lowlife and Jane Ostentatious all over Frau Kapau.
But direction on Milla Lowlife to the box, and she threw up she threw up 7 in the air. That's it for Milla there. But we got the rest of Providence out there still trying to hold back at bay. And that little bit of distraction. Frau finding that opening, sweeps through, picks up 4. Goldie still in the back there behind Skittles and behind number 25. Oh, hold on.
Goldie almost out, but swept out.
Yeah, recycle back in again. It was Latina heat there with Skittles.
The Brew City defense is just doing the damn thing right now.
Yeah, it's that great blocking wall, and we got that star pass to Jane Ostentatious. In the midst of all that, Frau Kapau picks up an additional 4. It's 12 points already. And going to put the stop on that. Oh man, it would start off with power start for Brew City, flips over, power jam for Providence. Brew City comes back, picks up Frau, look at that, getting that opening while the star pass was happening to Jane. Oh my goodness, what a tight turn. Still 3 minutes, and still anything can still happen here. Oh my Lord. I hope you're enjoying your fun dip.
You okay over there?
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying your fun dip there,
I
Nancy.
apologize. Well, hey, I was courteous enough to put my microphone up because I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, Flying King thought they had the lead jam, but it is a track cut. Power jam now to Brew City, who's stashing the start, and that is Scully Wheeler.
Scully Wheeler getting caught up between the braced 2-wall with Oakley in front. And Puma Thurman working the front with Shreddy Roosevelt.
We're getting a multiplayer block call.
Oh, and that is on Shreddy, who is pivoting currently for the Riveters.
Puma at that anchor, staying up front of the pack.
Retro Rocket all over Scully Wheeler.
Still no lead jam. Flying King back in the mix. This pack is going around once with no lead jam. Flying King back in. Quick dodging, juking around. Goes to the front. And going to work that initial pass. The other, like there's been trouble. And then the Scully's at a stash trying to get that star pass, which looks like finally successful. But Oakley up in front, finally having to let go. And I believe that is, yes, number 5, Skittles, who's captain. 4 points picked up by Flying King. Pack now moving in from turn 3 to turn 4. Up at the front, Retro Rocket, Wish Ready. Got the whole line of Providence now, keeping an eye on Skittles. Trying to force out of bounds. Just almost a gentle touch there by Oakley.
A gentle touch that resulted in a big thud. What did they call on that? Let's see.
Couldn't quite see the hand up on that one. But
yeah,
4 points
contact.
up by Flying King. Trying to rack it up. We are down under a minute on the main clock. We're about 5 seconds on the jam clock.
14 points separate the two teams,
Flying
138 to 124.
With another 4, Flying King coming back with that. And we got an official review being called by Hot Sauce of Providence. 3 more points picked up by Brew City. We're down to a 10-point game. Hold me close, Banshee. Hold me.
It'll be okay, Cac. It'll be okay. And, seeing strong walls from Providence that were really helping out, although, the jammers for Brew City were just killing it on that last jam as far as being able to break free. And a total nail biter. I agree.
But no, those 3 points actually getting locked on there. It brings it 141, 128. Still anybody's game at this.
Oh, they're using the official review as a timeout on this. And then look in the crowd. We have folks anxiously watching, stressing out about this because it's intense. And we know.
Are those frozen headsets on that kid?
That's
yes, I kind of want those.
Cac, you're such a princess. I love it.
Damn right I am.
I know. And, okay, so let's see. Do we have, no? Just the official review time that's coming to a close. Pikazoom will take the jammer line against Flying King.
They started this game off together. They might very well finish this off together. Now let's look at what we see for the packs. A 2-blocker wall for Brew City. We got about 3 for Providence. I'm literally shaking.
Breathe. Pikazoom caught up in the back, getting a little help from a friend that, we have 1 Brew City blocker to the box, and it is Flying King securing lead for PRD.
Yep, and going outbound, Providence taking shots at Pikazoom. Finally let go, but track
Cutting the
Pikazoom.
track penalty.
That is power jam, Providence. Oh no.
The venue is going crazy.
Flying King with 4. Oh my goodness.
So,
oh, no.
Of course, the period clock expiring in 2 seconds, though a minute and 22 remain on the jam clock. And Rhode Island Riveters and Flying King looking to capitalize on this in every way possible, narrowing the score gap to just 5 points right now. And entirely possible, depending upon the obstacles presented to Flying King.
Flying King with 5. This is coming down to it.
1-point game right now.
Pika's released from the box behind Flying King. All you need is 1 pass. Through.
And Flying King
calls it.
is calling it off per instruction of the bench and taking it by 3 points. Of course, this is unofficial.
Oh, my God.
Intense.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
Just freaking out, just like everybody else in here. And Brew City, just right to the end, making everyone work for every square inch of track. The unofficial final right now is 144 points. Providence Roller Derbies, Rhode Island Riveters, 141 Brew City Bruisers. I mean, beer, fight, right down to the final seconds of the game, folks. Whew.
Oh my goodness! What a game! Like this is like the announcer's game. Like when you see something like that.
I just, I mean, it is officially confirmed. The final score: 144. Providence Roller Derbies, Rhode Island Riveters up against Brew City Bruisers All Stars. Just absolutely phenomenal. The time crunch, and I don't really think I have any other words right now, but I'd just like to impart upon you that our next game will be at 1 p.m. Green Mountain versus Jersey Shore. And again, we have a 3 p.m. game, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Providence will be back to play Antwerp at 5 p.m. Brew City will play Appalachian at 7 p.m. So make sure you subscribe to Nerd Derby on Twitch TV. That way you know when we go live. And we'll be taking a quick break and coming back for the next game. I'm Buddha Faldashi.
And I'm speechless. I mean, the CAC.
And we'll be back soon. Thanks again.